Hey guys, it's Natalie from natsnumbers, and this is the October 2013 Numerology forecast. I'm really excited about talking about this archetype today because this is one that actually is rejected by our society. So October adds down to the number 7, and the 7 in archetypal numerology represents the hermit, the shaman, the seeker. So the benefit of this month, right off the bat, is that you're going to be able to tap into deeper wisdom. That's the potential. So if there's an area of your life where you're not getting the answers that you want, where you're really feeling lost and you're feeling a sense of superficiality and shallowness, this month is going to enable you to dive below the surface and to really unearth some amazing treasures. Now, what I'm going to be sharing in this video is that there are some inherent challenges that show up with the 7 hermit, and they're personal, but they're also really collective. So one of the things that's interesting about the hermit is that in our society, we're really afraid of the hermit. We equate being a hermit with being someone that has something to hide. So we are more comfortable with people that are social, that are involved in the community, that are very overt and extroverted with their sharing. And when it comes to the hermit archetype, somebody that keeps to themselves, somebody who dives into their own psyche to get answers and to access wisdom, we get very nervous. I mean, think about it in terms of cinema, in terms of stories. You've got the old witch that lives in the woods who eats little children. I was thinking about movies like in Home Alone, the Macaulay Culkin character, his neighbor is an old man who all the kids think that he kills little children and puts them in his trash can. Same with the old man in the movie Pollyanna. He shoos children away from his property because he actually wants to be alone and he has some issues with trust, but everybody thinks that he's evil. Now, there's a reason that this exists because the hermit does have some dark aspects to it. And you can think about like the Unabomber, you can think about cults that really bloom in isolation without any light upon them. So there are some valid reasons of why this shows up. How is this applicable to you? It's applicable to you because on a subconscious level, you might be shying away from tapping into your deeper wisdom because you as well equate it with something that's dangerous. So what I'm going to be teaching you this month in this forecast are ways to overcome this and ways to leverage the energy of the 7 in a constructive and productive way. So the first step is to tap into some solitude. So this is really just about connecting to silence through maybe sitting, in quiet for 10 minutes a day, taking a walk in nature, something like that. The point is that you're going to be developing a deeper friendship with your wisdom within. Now, what comes along with that on a personal level is there's a tendency to dive into superiority and elitism. And if you have ever been involved in the New Age or self-help movement, you probably can relate to this. There's a tendency for all of us, once we dive into one area of expertise, once we begin to meditate or we have 5,000 hours of yoga underneath our belt, we begin to feel this intellectual superiority, and we begin to feel that I am the only one that really is thinking about these profound things. I am the only one that's truly spiritual. Nobody else can relate to the depth of what it is that I'm feeling and discovering. So there's some sub-action steps that we need to do this month to make sure that the 7 doesn't really drown us in oblivion, but that we actually climb back up to the surface of life and apply the wisdoms that we get into practical everyday experience. So the first subset is to notice when and how you withdraw from people and events this month. So it might be that you're talking with somebody on the phone, they're wanting to meet with you more often or deepen your relationship, and you might start to notice yourself pulling back and pulling away. Okay? I want you to take note of whenever that dynamic happens, because the tendency with the 7 hermit is to go into solitude to the point where you no longer relate with people. You begin to think the things that you are discovering are more important than the relationships that you need to develop, and that's not the case. So what do, right, when you discover why you are withdrawing? The second sub-step is to live and practice the deeper knowings that come up when you have that solitude time. So it's so important to realize that the things that you're discovering are not more important than the application of them. In fact, the things that you're discovering in your solitude time are only as important as your ability to bring them into your everyday life and to share them in your relationships and to deepen your connections with your own inner being, but also with the world. So those are the most essential steps this month, is to have quiet time, to notice when and how you withdraw from people and events, and to begin to bring the deeper wisdoms that you are garnering from your quiet time up to the surface of life and to be accountable to them. So if you guys have any questions on how the 7 Hermit applies to you in your life, then please let me know. And also hop on over to my Facebook fan page. I love when you guys comment there and let me know what questions you have and what video requests you would like me to enact in the future. I will talk with you guys later. Have a great week ahead.